Hello and welcome to the All About sessions. So we are today entering into the session 4, and today we will go ahead and we'll move and into the more practical parts, where we will be able to see that how the racks are formed and what are the considerations that we do when we will be preparing our data center rack design, where the servers should be located, where uh, storage should be there, networking components, and many other things that we will do. So, for the new viewers who are just landing on this, I would I would request that go on YouTube, check for the previous videos, else it might be difficult for them to understand the current how we reached to the current picture, right? So we will go ahead and do, and please just if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you very much. And let's go ahead with today's agenda. So today is a session 4. Okay, and while we are going on the fourth session, we just have to recap what we have been doing. So there was one single user who wanted to access our website, and we wanted to understand what are the components involved in order to access a website. So we are just trying to understand how HA, high availability, has been configured, achieved. So we will talk about the load balancers and clusters later on as well, very much in depth. But for now, we have understood that there will be more than 2 devices supporting this entire application from the background, and that is how if one is down, another will be up and running to serve the website or web application, whatever the user want to access, right? So let's go to this. Let's zoom into the data center now, and let's see what is there. And I will let you know that what changes that I have made, right? So, so I would like to tell you that what changes I have made. Okay, so over here, if you see, share my screen. Yeah. So this is what that we have been talking about so far. Okay, so let's zoom into the data center. And now we do understand that uh, there are infrastructure applications. Okay, the change that I have made in this PPT is just this one. Okay, what I have done over here in the previous session, we knew that syslog server, proxy server, LDAP, DNS, DSCP, monitoring and backup were there. But there are other components also of infrastructure application for print server, file server, email server, SFTP server, antivirus, SSL, and many other things are there. Okay, but we have to put them all in a single data center. Okay, so to make sure that you have everything proper placed in the data center, what we have to do. Okay, let's see the little more realistic view today. Okay, so to see the more realistic view, we will have to understand that what we should put in the rack. Okay, first of all, and how. Okay, so first of all, let's see that how a database rack will look like. Okay, so what I will do over here is that this is a database rack. Okay, and over here we should be having all of the databases, isn't it? So what I will do is that if this is a database rack, then why the cables will go from here and it will go in the application rack? If this is an application rack over here, it means that this database rack should have its own switch. Okay, I said switch, so just remember that I have said switch. So this is going to be the switch, where the things where this database will be connected. All right, database server, and likewise these storage, right? They will also be connecting to this switch only, correct? And there may be so many enclosures, right? We have seen the storage enclosure, isn't it? If you do not remember, then we can go ahead and see that again, right? In the slide. So this is the storage enclosure. This is one enclosure, and in there are disks. Okay, so 8 disks by 3, sorry, 4 disks by 3, 12 disks in one enclosure. And likewise we calculated, right? And definitely there will be one cable at least, but not, there will not be a single cable. There will be at least 2 cables, and there can be 4 cables also, 4 network cables. Okay, so what we have to understand over here, there will be servers. Okay, so if there are 2 servers, then definitely there will be 2 ports which will be occupied. Okay, let's zoom in again. Let's finish this picture today. Okay, we will try our best. So these database servers will connect to the switch, okay, in some port. Okay, and now on this switch we will do the configuration that the device which has got the VLAN 11.11.11.6 can only connect over here. You understand what I'm saying? So it means that a switch can be configured so that it can restrict or it can entertain the devices which has got particular IP address range, okay, or an IP address which is in particular range. All right, so over here also you can see there are so many things, so many storage boxes are there. They should also be, they can be in a different range. So this switch, okay, I will zoom into this switch. It has got, see, so many ports. Okay, it may be having how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 14, it means 28, right? It has got 28. So it can have, it can serve to 28 VLANs, different, okay? But the problem over here is, the problem will become like that, why you should be having so many VLANs, okay? So for the restriction purposes, okay? And on top of that, on the background, you can put that this should be going, this particular port, or say any of the port, okay, where the server is connecting, will go to the particular gateway. While I say gateway, it means that there is either another switch or another router. All right. So what I will do is that this is my rack 1. Okay. Let me say that application layer. Now you have understood. So I will say this is an application rack. All right. And that is a database rack. All right. And let me say define a rack over here. Okay. This is another rack. So this is my application rack. Okay. So there can be n number of application servers. All right. So let me try to move it in a decent way so that it will start looking little pretty. Okay. And this also. Okay. I selected something more. Not the outer one. And I'll move it like this. Okay. Making some space. And this will connect it to the local switch to this rack. You understand? I think it is looking little better now. So for the understanding purposes, that all of the components which are there in the application, okay, they will have a single switch. Okay, okay, for now I will delete this. Okay, now this becomes my application rack. Okay, this is my database rack. Okay, of course this is a switch and this will not be a single switch. All right, for redundancy purposes there will be two switches. There will be two switches. I think you must start thinking about the cost now. Okay, and after that we will have a network rack. Okay, so what we will have in our network rack, that's a question over here. Okay, so in the network rack what will happen is that we will have to put one, at least basic one, router. Okay, let me just for the time being, let me make this box little smaller. Okay, just for the understanding purposes. Okay, so there will be one router. Okay, and there will be one firewall. Okay, let me delete this firewall. Let me delete this connectivity also. Okay, and let me just move it on the right side. Okay, and let me put a segregator over here so that we understand that this is our fire, or say this is our network rack. Yeah, this is our network rack. Sorry. Okay, so now what will happen? There will be some connectivity which will come down and connect over here. Let's do that. From here, there will be a connection into this one, correct? And definitely, so there will be one port which will be occupied. Okay, realistically, if I will say that it will look like this. Okay, it has nothing to do with the one. Okay, I will control C and control V because there are two switches, so there will be, of course, two connections, right? You understand what I'm saying? It is very simple. Okay, don't worry about the designs that we are making. We will see that how much complex it is in the real world, right? And we should not be worried about the complexities, I guess so. We will see this, right? Let's say it will connect to this. And this will connect to this, right? Some port. I hope it helps. Okay, so there is some connection. There are some connections which are going and connecting. Now this router will send the connections to the firewall. All right, and let's say this is not the single router. Of course, there will be two routers as per the thumb rule. Correct. Yeah, okay. As per the thumb rule, there are always redundant devices, right? So what it means is that there will be two firewalls. Okay. So over here, there are routers. Okay. Let's see the firewall also looks like the same device. Okay, because we have seen that we don't know what is inside, but the firewall may also look like same. Okay, so from here there are two uplinks. Okay, on the right hand side you can see two uplinks. Okay, these uplinks go on, they connect to the next device. So from here also there will be two uplinks, right? And they will connect to this device. All right, and as per the thumb rule, there will be two devices in here, correct? Two firewall devices which will be connected to these routers. One to the downward, one to the upwards. Okay, okay. I hope this helps. It is not very complex. Yeah, let's see. Okay, this connectivity has established. Now, this is all internal. Okay, and for this presentation layer, when this presentation layer want to connect to this firewall, definitely it cannot go and connect to the internal firewall directly. So there will be one router again, and then there will be another firewall. Okay, of course they will be divided into two. Okay, or say there will be a redundant device. Correct. So this is how our network rack looks like. Okay, then there will be another rack in which we will put our infrastructure applications. Say in this area will be copied and pasted, or say this area will be replicated, and whatever servers are there on those servers, on some servers LDAP will be installed, on some servers DNS, DSCP and other things will be installed, and these all are connected for the monitoring and backup purposes also. And for that, because the VLAN is different, definitely from each and every server, you see, each and every server there will be three physical cables going on. It means 1 2 3 1 2 3 6 cables. If there are two servers. If there are more servers, then there will be, in multiplication there will be so many cables which will be going on into this switch. So depending on the requirement, the number of switches can be increased over here. All right. Okay, now we move ahead little bit more. Okay, now we will have to understand one thing, that this guy who was connecting is going through so many devices and still he is getting the response within half second. Like google.com, you just press the button and you instantly get it. Okay, so that is how that is why it is important that these hops are less. This is called one hop, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. This is one hop. So how many hops can be there? All right, so the lesser the hops, the connectivity is better, and then it has to go, your signal, the packet will have to go, travel all across, get it processed in the data center, and then it will come back to you. All right, that is how a complete data center works. All right, now we will also talk about that why the data centers are so big, so huge, and what kind of data centers are there. So let's talk. Okay, if this is a data center, then we will have to understand that it requires what? we have to have HVAC systems to run any data center. Okay. So what are HVAC systems? These systems are, say, air conditioning, right? Power and other systems are there, right? HVAC systems and power, right? Google it. You will know what is HVAC system. So learn about this, and later on what we can do is that we can, while we are thinking about a data center formation, what we need to know. Okay. And a company can have multiple data centers. And why? Why a company will have multiple data center? So there is one DR, disaster recovery site. Okay. So that increases the cost. And while the cost comes in the picture, nowadays very hot topic cloud comes. We will form that entire cloud in this page very shortly, right? First, let's understand what is the ventilation, okay, and air conditioning system is, right? So each and every of this device is consuming electricity and generating some heat, okay, and that heat definitely will have to be cooled down in order to in order that temperature does not increases. Okay, now it is very important to understand that the cables which are there, let it be the power cables, let it be the network cables, generates heat. Okay, so those all need to be cooled down. Okay, and one more important thing over here is that because those power cables have very high voltage, so network cables cannot go from very near to them. Okay, so they should be separated. All right. So we have to understand how much distance should be there between a power cable and a network cable. Then your ISP connections are there. In which data center, which ISPs can go and put their device and where, or a data center service provider provides you the device and they do not allow any external device at all because that device is not tested according to their uh, say standards, right? So they may ask you, just ask them to provide their fiber connectivity. We will put it in our router and then we will distribute it further. They can very well do that. All right. So we have to understand over here that this database servers can be more. So there is one database rack. There can be more application servers. Applications can be of many types. And that is how a data center network will be formed and the racks will be designed. Let's do one thing. In a very quick sessions, as you can see right behind me today, that there is a very nice data center. Okay, let's see some other data centers also. How does those data centers look like? Okay, right. So I have collected a few data center pictures. Okay, we will see all those one by one, right? Let me maximize it. So this is a typical data center. Okay, these floor, whatever you are seeing, are the raised floor. This is not the ground. These are raised, and these are raised at least by 1 plus 3 by 4 foot or up to 2 foot at least. And all of the cables, network cables specifically, goes from the downside, and the power cables, as you can see, goes from the top, right? You see that? Okay. Let's go to the next picture now. Very decent picture. Okay. As you can see, over here the holes are there, correct? You can see, but over here holes are not there. Why? Because right now we are standing in front of the rack. Okay, and if we are standing behind the rack, there will be a different condition. Okay, sorry, we are standing behind the rack. Okay, as you can see, the lights are on the back side. Okay, so we are on the back of the rack. Okay, so what is happening is the air is going inside these holes. Okay, and that is being ventilated. Okay, moved across from the front side. This is called the cold aisle, and on the back it is called the hot aisle. Why hot? Because the air is coming from the front, and the server is processing, or server fans are pulling that air and sending it to the back. Okay, and then this air is being circulated through these holes back into the air conditioning system. All right, very simple to understand. Hot aisles and cold aisles, right? So cold aisles are closed one, hot aisles are open ones. All right, we do not move much time on this. Okay, let's see another data center. Very nice data center. Okay, as you can see over here, the power cables are going from the top. Correct. Let's see this data center from the front side. It is all closed, all covered, but on the back hand side it will be covered. Okay, it will be open and the air will be circulated. Now the important thing over here is that these racks are completely attached. Okay, so that this cold air is definitely going inside the server, and on the back it is hot air, and cold air and hot air is not getting mixed. Otherwise, what will happen? The desired temperature of 18 degrees centigrade will not be achieved. Normally in a data center on the cold aisle side, it is 18 degrees centigrade. Let's see another data center. Okay, same. This is front, closed, back side, it will be something else. Hole, yeah, nice, very nice data center. This is another data center, and this is another kind of data center. Yeah. Now, this is a specific data center. Okay, and this is caged data center. This is caged data center, and definitely why it is caged, that it requires more security, right? And definitely it is electrified. It means that it has the electricity in this cage. You touch it and you will get a shock for more security, so that if any other vendor people are coming, and if they should not be able to even touch the racks, because it has got some finance data or some very secret data. Yeah, that can also be done. Now we come to onto this picture. Very fantastic picture. What it is? This is container data center. Why it is container data center? It's a compact data centers which has been launched by various companies. It has got all of the data center, or say you can say data center on the move. It can just have wheels. It is in the container that you see in the large cargo ships. You just put it on a trailer and you take it anywhere. You put it over there, stop the trailer anywhere, you put the power and the ventilation systems on. You can see that the generator is also there, and the modular air conditioner is also there, so it will cool down. So you don't have to do anything, you just have to put the diesel or petrol or gas into it and it will work. Very simple, right? And where these are used, I will show you. Right, let me open Google Maps. Yep. Now I will search for, yep, Durrat Al Bahrain. Okay, now I will go into the satellite mode. Let me zoom out. Okay, and we will go ahead. Look at this. That's what is a data center, right? People are there and they are working, I guess, from their cars. You can see that. And look at the location. Yeah. It's all sand out there. There is a data center which has been placed and they can start their operations immediately. So that's what the use of this these kind of container data centers, right? Instead of very big data centers, you can see that also. I have also seen one scenario where the entire telecom company wanted to transform their data center. Okay, so what they did is that they bought 4 data center containers, okay, container data centers, and they just installed that and it was all done. And later on they moved the racks from the container data center into the data center, and it was all done very easily. Oh yeah, yeah. So that's what the different kind of data centers, as you can see. So you also have to understand that there are data centers which has been classified, okay, and according to their facilities they provide. We will talk about this as we will go. And in addition to that, over here, what we know is that today that there are different applications that are the standard applications for any data center or any company's data center, where they have to do a lot of monitoring, backups, messaging, email servers and all, right? The similar things, similar services are currently available in cloud. Okay, definitely those are cheap. We will compare that how much a data center will cost and how much a cloud will cost against, right? So that's it for the session. And please make sure that you go on YouTube, subscribe for this channel. You can share this information for your near and dear ones so that they can get some knowledge about the data center. Nowadays, very few people get to the data center and see that from inside and know that how the data centers are formed. But these are the basic things and can be covered. And definitely, if you like, then definitely like the session. This was all about internet session 4. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.